Hello and welcome to Nighthawk Racing's F1 RST Championship Season 6 Round 2 Red Lobby Sprint Race. So first up, it's worth mentioning a lot of drivers taking very different strategic choices on the tyres. Half seem to be going to soft tyres, the other half medium tyres. We'll see how that works out over the sprint race. But on pole for this race we have Manley in his 296. Then in P2 we have Sophie, the first of the medium runners in the Mclaren. Then third, Dejan Cypher in the Supra. And then Nigel Mansnail in his 992. Iceman takes 5th place in his Lexus. Lee in his 992 takes 6th place. In 7th place will be Sidley in the other Lexus. And in 8th place, one half of the Nighthawk Racing co-creators, Sarah Hawkey in the top Huracan. Then in P9 we have one of the Nighthawk Racing admin of Pedro in his RX Vision. Then in P10 we have in an AMG Red LMR 56. Luca will be looking to have a good race here today. Then in P11 we have Roses in another 296. Then in P12 we have Mercedes, finally in a Mercedes, driving that AMG on medium tyres today. Then in P13, the double Nighthawk Racing champion, Katie Lakai, in another RX Vision, and a beautiful livery, it has to be said. First race of the season for him tonight. Then in P14 we have Fodder in that Supra, looking very fast in practice, has a good history around here, particularly in the FEC series. And then in P15 we have Louis, the Dark Lord, the Season 4 champion in that WRX. Well, I have to say this race is absolutely stacked full of talent. Nobody could pick a better venue for all of these drivers to really show us what they've got. And again, a lot of strategic differences in the tyre choices here. So some cars are going to be very quick trying to get through the pack towards the front right at the beginning. But the others playing the long game on those medium tyres. So we'll see what happens. With that, over to the commentators and enjoy the show. Season 6 Round 2 for the Red Lobby at Spa 24-hour circuit. Mac leads their pack away. Sophie in P2, Dejan Cypher, his maiden Red Lobby appearance in P3. So here we go. Manley leading the pack away up to Eau Rouge and Radion for the rolling start. A couple of drivers have gone for the medium tyres, such as Sophie and Dejan Cypher, and a couple of drivers towards the back. Watch for them later in the sprint as the tyres will start to wear down. But here we go, heading towards the Malmedy section and Lake Holm. So Matt going defensive early at the gates, holding off Sophie into the first set of real corners as we go down the Keppel Straight. So Ziggy, so far the drivers look like they are keeping things all on the road here at this point. Have you seen anything worthy of note so far?
Hello, Midnight. First of all, it's a pleasure to be with you guys again, doing some comments from this exciting race. So we expect everyone behaved quite well on these first seconds of the first lap of the sprint race. Like you've mentioned, it's interesting to notice that 5 of the drivers are using medium tires, because we all know that this track can be a little bit harsh on tire condition by the end of the race especially. So let's see how it goes and if it pays off for the ones that decided to go with the mediums. I'm particularly interested to see how the Dark Lord can go, because he started last because of the reverse grid, considering the average points from the last season. From the first race already. So it will be interesting to see how he can perform with such a fast load. Let's see how it goes.
Quite right. As soon as you mentioned his name, he was sideways out of a couple of corners, but we have a massive gaggle of cars coming through Blanchimont, trying to go 2 and 3 wide in towards the bus stop, led by
this
Sarah
is going
Hawkey.
to be interesting.
Yeah, it's great to see so many drivers so close together. Fodder squeezing down the inside of the bus stop, I think, of Degen Cypher. So everyone all together, that was remarkably good and close driving by everyone there.
No crashes, no one went off, no spun. So, oop, there's a spun.
Oh, you had to say it.
Seemed to be Citily had a moment there, exiting turn 1. Let's see how it goes.
Well, these things will happen. We do have at the front Mac, who is still in the lead, moving away from the medium tyre runner of Sophie, and Nigel up to P3, so he is really happy in that new Porsche, followed by Lee and Sarah Hawkey in P4 and 5 respectively, so with Pedro in P6. So, but this gaggle of cars, there's so much going on. Where do we look? With Louis Dartlord making a move around the outside of Sicily, down in towards Malmedy.
Yeah, we know the sprint races have this effect. I mean, everybody tries to be as fast as possible and to gain positions quite early in the beginning of the race to see if they can manage then to have the pace to split off, leaving everyone behind, just fighting between themselves. So, and particularly on this track, we all know that it's a fast track, but with some very technique sections, especially in the middle of the track, where small mistakes can make a huge difference in terms of speed and not getting off, or at least trying to not get off track to make them lose time. So yeah, everybody's just going crazy and wild till the end. I think it's going to be a true sprint race till the end.
Funny you should say that about off track. We just spied Sarah Hawkey getting some air coming around the second part of Poo on there, and looking like she's joining an aviation club rather than a racing club on that one, dropping a couple of spots, unfortunately. But there is a battle for P4 with Lee going defensive, heading towards La Source, with Pedro setting the fastest lap. Okay. Very swiftly taken by Roses, but briefly holding the fast lap, going up to P4 at La Source. So, good a bit of driving there from the Portuguese man.
And also, there's a very interesting fight on the back of the pack between Dark Lord, Foda, Kai, Mercedes. So they're quite together now, going for Eau Rouge, and it's going to be interesting to see at the end of the straight how it goes.
Yeah, quite right, and it is worth saying that Fodder and Dartlord are looking, we're just going to say, amongst favourites for the title at the moment, so we have to watch how that battle develops. But heading towards the next corner, we do have Lee and Sarah Hawkey going side by side. Red has got through in the AMG. Lee down to 7th at the moment, with Roses on the back of him, heading towards Rivage.
And with so much happening on the race, we are already halfway through it. So this is the third lap of 6.
Yeah, this sprint race living up to its name, being a sprint from lap 1 all the way to the end of only lap 6 this one, like you say. But the sprints have been reduced in length to really bring out the action, which is so far delivering. But one thing that the drivers aren't going to be thinking about at the moment is that they're going to be trying to think of how to defend their position rather than the length of the race. And Sarah Hawkey at the moment has got a mirror full of 2 cars, which that's enough, isn't it?
And a big shout out to her, because she's hanging there bravely, facing such a fast guys like Roses and Pedro and Nigel, and she's right there fighting for, still in a position to fight for a podium. Let's see how she can perform by the end.
Yeah, Nigel looks like he's going for a move up on Sophie into bus up. No, thinks about it. Thinks go for another lap. And we have Roses going for a move on into Lee. Oh, and collects Sarah into the bus stop. Sarah gets a waiver that's going to put her off for a couple of corners, but Rose is going to drop to the back of the pack, down to 12th, and that's going to be one for the stewards on that one. They're not going to take a very good view on that one, because that looked like he went for the pass and got the other car, so unfortunate there, but not. But we see Mercedes darting off at the source. What happened there?
Oh, I think he lost the rear there. I think he went too deep on the braking zone and lost the rear.
Yeah, and that,
So
well, massive damage to him. He's ended up in the barrier with huge damage.
yeah,
That is going to
yeah.
really put pay to his aspirations of finishing. Well, it's a long way to go in the series, but he wants to be finishing in the top 3 as often as possible, and for the end of the series, that's going to really hurt his chances, but we'll see what he can do come the feature race. But back towards the front.
Unfortunate for him.
Exactly.
Yeah, unfortunate for him, yeah. And Sophie and Nigel still holding on quite well on podium places. Pedro still on the chase with, yeah.
Nigel picking up a half-second penalty. But like you say, Pedro having a fight, the RX Vision versus AMG for B4, but Nigel's going to be moving back towards him with that half-second penalty.
There's a chance for Pedro there, and for Sarah's still holding on the 6th place.
The one person behind him.
A little bit. She went off, or Sarah. She went a little bit too wide on. She lost the position.
Yeah, don't want to be doing that too many times. But Kai up to P7. He's up to P6 now after that. So Kai on the move on those soft tyres. But yeah, this pack. This is where it's going to get entertaining.
This pack is where the interest is right now. I mean,
but that said, Nigel has served his penalty in that 992 Porsche, and now he's got Pedro breathing down his neck. But it's worth saying that those soft tyres for the Pedro's RX Vision are reaching the point, but where they're going to start dropping off. So at this point, Nigel might come straight back at him. But great racing between the two, like you say, Ziggy. That's good to see between the two.
With respect and clean racing. That's what we expect from all drivers.
Love to see it, don't we?
Yeah.
They're going to have to get a move on because they've got the previous series champion right behind them in Kai. He's only coming down the straight heading towards the Eau Rouge complex, and that's the last people want behind you. But P7 is lead, followed by Fodder, who's running so high in the championship at the moment. But only a few places behind him are Sarah
and Louis already on a move to taking 9th position from Sarah.
In the Twix mobile.
In the Twix mobile.
He's got a few Twix up his sleeve. Let's move on.
You should be careful with diabetes.
Ooh. I didn't see that one coming, man. That was a good one. I like it. Right. Ooh, good close racing for the final podium spot. Pedro has picked up a half-second penalty, so that's going to make life a little bit easier for Nigel. Maybe give that place to Red. So unfortunate there for him. Kai P6, Fodder P7, getting clear of this back now. But this fight for P8 is getting a bit spicy. The last thing you want behind you.
It's getting hotter.
It is. Where do we look? It's all going off all over the place.
Everything is just crazy everywhere.
But the one place we haven't needed to check recently is P1 and 2 because they have, they've just disappeared off at the front.
And Pedro is going to lose the 4th position now. He's going to serve his penalty. Yeah.
Well, Ziggy, this is the penultimate lap, so we're just about to head into the final lap as the lead drivers come around Blanchimont into the bus stop chicane. Max already there. His tyres are going to drop off before the final lap, so he's judged this beautifully on those soft tyres. Followed by Sophie. Nigel getting wide into the bus stop. That might gift Red a shot. Nope, didn't have the traction. That's interesting.
He had it. You know, this 992, it's 992. Yeah, it's a quite interesting car to drive because it feels better than the old 911 in terms of traction and handling. Although it's pretty much the same, but it gives you a boost of confidence when driving under such a pressure like Nigel was. So I believe this was like a trust and confidence moment for him, defending that position.
I'll agree with you on that, and you have to say that the new Porsche is a little bit more efficient as well, so he's definitely making the most of it. But a freeway fight all down the Camel Straight, Lee and Roses, and they've come together again.
And Sarah take two positions on one move only.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's going to be another call up for Roses to the stewards on that one. Unfortunate. Didn't look deliberate, but you have to take the rough with the smooth. And yeah, it looks like he might have put his nose where it shouldn't have been on that one. But it looks like that fight for P1 is over. Sophie's picked up a half-second penalty, but looking good for the McLaren driver with this sprint race taking home a podium for this one.
Yeah, it will be difficult for Nigel to catch even with the penalty. I think top 5 will be, are more settled. Little bit behind. Lewis is still chasing further for 6th position. Sarah defending from Roses. Let's see if she managed to keep that 8th place till the end.
Well, it's going to be very tight coming in. Looks like Roses has found the gap coming through towards Blanchimont. He's going to be on the inside, but we do know there's going to be some words from the stewards at the end of the race. But brave of Sarah to go side by side through there into the bus stop. Out the front, we are going to see Matt taking the victory, followed by Sophie, Nigel, Red, then Pedro, then Fodder up to P6, followed by Dart Lord. And it looks like, Rose is going to just about get P8. Then Sarah, Citily, Lee, Kai, Iceman. Didn't see much of him in that race, but sometimes a quiet race is exactly what you need. Dejan Cypher in 14th, and Mercedes, who has stopped for a pit stop, Ziggy, is going to try and sneak away the points for the fastest lap.
For the fastest lap.
Only problem for him is you have to be in the top 10 to receive the points.
The point, yeah.
But he will, very, very least, be very happy with himself to sneak the fastest lap, I feel, after a sadly disappointing race for him. But up the front, Ziggy, that was great driving from the lead. I'd say trio to 5 cars there. But good to see the championship leaders of Fodder and Dartlord up to P6 and P7 respectively.
This means that even for the leaders, it's not an easy task to move up on this field. It's tricky. It's a very fast lot of people of drivers, and being on a sprint, especially on this track, which is we all know that it's not an easy track to drive. It's full of twists and small tricks to take the most of the car, and also of each driver in terms of skills, to be the fastest possible without taking that extra risk that could compromise the race. Unfortunately for Mercedes, it seemed like he had one of those moments, but hopefully he will be better on the feature, on better shape at the feature, and with a better luck. Let's see how it rolls. But very interesting. I mean, it was really a full race of in terms of excitement and fights all over the place. We had the time to look into everything in detail, but it was quite amusing and entertaining. Very happy with the way the race went.
Yeah, quite with you there, Ziggy. That was at some points we didn't really know which way to look, but it's good to see that most of the action on the track there was all quite nice and restrained and quite sporting. That said, we did miss something in that final lap. Kai, who was running in P6, slipped down to P11 with a spin somewhere on the final lap. So unfortunate for our reigning champion, but these things will happen. And it does. We have received notice that Roses was penalised for 2 separate incidents with a 10 and a 2-second penalty. So he drops down all the way to 14th after that. So lots going on, but it is good to see that most of the action was quite nice and restrained and quite good close racing. But this Spa track, it always does deliver and so has the red lobby in this instance.
Exactly. I'm with you on that.
With that in
And
mind,
do you have a sorry to interrupt you. Do you have in mind any particular driver that catch your attention more than the rest?
honestly, for this point, I would have to say Nigel. He's definitely been granted a really good, solid podium there, and he made it work, made it happen, and drove against some really good drivers there. So well done to him, in my point of view. What about your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm with you on that, and I've also enjoyed a lot the race that Sarah did. I mean, this is the
Entertaining,
big
wasn't
tank.
it?
This is the big tank, and she was bold. She was not afraid of doing her race, doing her driving. So being there in the midfield, fighting for positions, defending, showing the fiber she have. So really happy for her. I think she is definitely one of the highs for me in terms of the sprint race.
Right there with you, and she got some air in there somewhere as well. So it was entertaining for us. Well, that's the least of what you could say. It was really good to see.
Sarah Airborne hockey.
Yes, quite. Well, hockey by name, hockey by levitation in this case. Or aviation, probably more accurate. But with regards to the championship, it's good to see that the two main championship contenders that we have seen so far, Fodder and our very own Dart Lord, was P6 and P7. So they made their way through, but that's going to keep the championship nice and close together.
Oh yeah, this is another proof of how competitive the championship can be, and on this early stage, it's still, it's still hard to say if there are just 2 or 3 favorites and contenders for the championship, because everyone has really chances to make great results through the season. So yeah, interesting. It's quite interesting to see how the field is so leveled up between drivers. Good to know. I think this will be probably the most exciting season so far.
Hopefully it just continues in the same vein. With that in mind, we have some more racing coming from the Blue Lobby, which you and I will be attending. So with that in mind, let's get to the cars and head over to the Blue Lobby commentators.
Bye bye. See you in a bit.
And I won't be alone.